It's like,
Yeah.
There are two things that amount to the Stones' success: simplicity and mentally thinking that you're still 28.
Pretty much.
they're about to
And
say, and
they were
mental illness. It was
They
like,
were younger than 28 when they made this album. Wait,
No,
what?
if we're gonna go that route, I would just say take it in parts.
Hey, music fans, welcome to SoundLab Studios. Today we're going to be reviewing the Rolling Stones' fourth studio album, Out of Our Heads, and we got Jeremy Duncan and Joseph Snyder here. How you guys doing today?
crispy.
What up?
All right. Well, Out of Our Heads is the fourth studio album by the Rolling Stones, released in July of 1965. Features their first #1 hit, I Can't Get No Satisfaction. You guys ready to dive into this album?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So, the first track we've got on here is Mercy Mercy, which is a cover track. What do you guys feel about this song?
Who's it a cover of?
I don't remember. I remember some of the other people, but
I did. Okay, so apparently I have better notes on all the other songs, but I must have really not liked it because I just put down in my notes, I did not like Mercy Mercy.
oh boy.
Yeah, it was a little, I don't know.
It's kind of basic.
Mm.
Like, yeah, this will probably be the one episode that Garrett will.
You'll
Not like
want
us.
to kill us
Well,
both by
that's
the end of
that's
this.
why we started at this album. The Rolling Stones' first 3 albums are basically all blues cover songs, and they're so boring.
I was gonna say I don't mind blues stuff at all, but I don't know. A lot of this one just seems
This
like
is the last one of their albums that's like that. After this, you got December's Children, which has like Get Off of My Cloud and As Tears Go By. And then you got
Awesome.
Aftermath, which has Paint It Black and Under My Thumb and stuff like that. And then you get Between the Buttons, which has Ruby Tuesday.
the later stuff just has more iconic
yeah.
songs. You know.
What about Give Me Shelter? What album's that on?
Oh, that's from their album Let It Bleed from 1969.
I was gonna say that's from whichever one. I think the cover is just mixed butt with the jeans.
Mm.
Is that Mick or is that Keith? I assume.
Oh
Mick.
no,
One of them.
it's from Give Me Shelter is from the one with the record cake on it.
Oh. Okay.
But anyway, expect a lot of these basic blues songs on this album.
Which again, that's not a bad thing. I think it's just how they did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't like that, then definitely don't listen to their first 3 albums because they're like that but worse.
I bet.
This is the
It sounds like this was also recorded before Keith started doing the open G tuning as well.
Yeah, the tuning, everything about the guitar in this album feels a little weak. I know that's a really bad thing to say for
That's
the
all
Rolling
right.
Stones, but my gosh, it's so bad.
Well, the Rolling Stones weren't as big as the Beatles then, so they didn't have like the technology that the Beatles had when they made Help. So it's very primitive.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they had the access to it most likely, but they just didn't. It wasn't their style.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
the
a very
Beatles-
raw album.
Yeah, like for example, like
Yeah.
comparing the two styles, the Beatles would be more so compared to like pop music, while the Stones would be compared more so to blues and rock.
Yeah.
In that regard.
I think that might be hitting the nail on the head. Getting a little premature here, but the reason I didn't like majority of this album was because it was mostly raw. And that's not my favorite type of rock and roll. I like a little bit more production. I like a little bit more dramaticism.
Okay, then you're definitely gonna like Aftermath and Between the Buttons when it comes to the stuff.
Oh yeah,
those are
I've heard those before. They're fantastic.
overproduced.
Yeah,
I love stuff like the raw rock and blues, but I guess it just depends on how you do it. I just don't think that's Mick Jagger. You know what I mean? That's
understood.
not Mick. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, half of this album is that raw blues sound, and then half of it is new songs that were actually written by them. And I heard a story, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that their manager, Andrew Oldham, was jealous that the Beatles were getting all the attention, so he locked them in a room and said, write your own songs until they came out with Satisfaction and stuff like that.
I mean, I will say, like, there's no song that I would say is like bad on this, just because, like you said, most of them are covers, and
Mm,
like they're not bad, but it's just kind of it goes in one ear out the other. You know, it just
yeah.
I don't it's not gripping to me.
Mm,
You know, and that's nothing against Mick or Keith or any of the other members of the Stones and any of the production behind it. I just think that in this particular time period, they were still trying to find their footing, and this
Mhm.
style just doesn't work for them.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of this style,
Let's get
let's-
on with Hitchhike, which is
let's-
the same
you know,
style.
oh
This
yeah.
one,
I think
actually
it's a
kinda like
cover. This one is a cover of a Marvin Gaye song.
hmm I
Marvin Gaye, really.
yeah, I personally thought that the song was good, but I thought the vocals were incredibly weak on this one. Like,
Are you talking about those high pitched big background vocals that go Hitchhike?
yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Again, not this just isn't mixed style in terms of like singing and all that. But I will say I do like this song mainly because it reminds me of something that we would see with bands like the Animals, for
Yeah.
example, or a little later down the line, bands like the Cramps, which
Oh, look,
they are
Mhm.
awesome as well. We should do a Cramps album.
we should.
Anyway, this is one of the ones that I actually kind of like. I just don't think that it's mixed style.
At risk
Yeah.
of sounding controversial to you guys, I like this one as well.
Oh, well, that's not controversial. You like
I
your
mean, yeah.
Stones.
It's not controversial. I mean, you have me who's saying I like it, but I just don't think it's mixed style, and Jeremy
Yeah.
saying that he doesn't like it. So I mean, you're
Yeah.
kind of middle.
Yeah, Garrett, you've got the basic opinion. You like the Rolling Stones. So yeah.
Not all their
Yeah.
first three albums I find very boring, other than
True.
Time Is on My Side and Heart of Stone. Or
Awesome.
those are good. Those are two good songs, but like all of their other songs are just boring blues covers.
Mhm.
Anyway, we're gonna get to track 3, The Last Time. This is my favorite one. Probably my favorite one on side 1. It's the only original on side 1, and it features that guitar riff at the beginning, which I
Mhm.
think is really cool. That goes bow down, bow down, bow bow, bow bow, bow bow, bow bow, bow bow.
Yeah, I think the guitar is really, really nice. It's got a
Yeah.
nice guitar line, but I do think that the actual singing, the melody, is a very weakly written line. It doesn't have any kind of punch or any kind of drive. It's just there.
Yeah, the drums are all right on this track as well.
Oh, drums are pretty
yeah.
good too. Yeah,
Charlie
yeah.
Watts is a pretty good drummer.
May he rest in peace. I feel like with this one, since this was made in '65, I feel like this might have been their attempt at trying to be the Beatles in a way.
Yeah.
You know, because oh God, what's the Beatles song that I was thinking of when I listened to the song?
I don't know.
Ticket to
What?
Ride.
No. I think it was a single that was released.
Oh,
from-
I feel fine. Boom, 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 boom.
No. It'll come back to me at the worst time.
Well, I've got one which this song did remind me of. It reminded me of "Last Train to Clarksville" by the Monkees. Kind of.
Yes.
I never listened
Yeah.
to the Monkees that much, so
You
We
I
need to
should.
do
It's interesting.
Headquarters. We need to review Headquarters because it's
Yeah.
actually a good album.
Oh yeah.
only thing I really know from the Monkees is "I'm a Believer." That's about it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. Anyway, let's keep going.
Anyway, I like The Last Time. We're gonna go to. Let's try to get this first side kind of go more quickly on these next few because the second side is really where it gets good. That's How Strong My Love Is. This is more of a ballad kind of a song, but yet he's still going. That's how strong my love is.
I personally liked this one. I thought this was the best written one of the album so far.
Yeah,
It was really good. Yeah.
yeah, I agree on that. Again, I feel like Mick just went a little too much
Yeah.
on this. Like, it's weird for the songs that he on this album anyway that he shouldn't put a lot in as far as like being out there and powerful.
He put a lot
He
in.
does the opposite, and vice versa.
Hmm.
Like when he should be quiet, he's loud. When he's
Yeah.
loud, he should be quiet.
I would definitely agree with that statement.
Yeah.
But I mean, and in his future, titles and tracks, it works. For this
Yeah.
one, I mean, it's all right. It's. I think I like their cover of Hitchhike a little better than this one.
Mm.
Based on the tracks we've gone over so far. Uh, but yeah, again, like most of the album, just kind of one in one ear, out the other.
Mm. All right, then we're gonna get to Good Times. This is another cover song.
Pretty short and sweet.
I
Yeah.
loved it. This is one of my favorites of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Really?
had great vocals and it was a really well written song. I like the instrumentation they put on top of it. That shows that the Stones added something to it because Sam Cooke is usually a solo singer, and
Yeah.
most of the stuff he does. So I really liked that. I thought that was a sign that the Stones had potential at this point. It was good.
This is the one song where I really don't have anything to say about Mick's vocals. I think his vocals are good here.
Mhm.
And like you said, they kind of tried to do something a little different with Sam Cooke's song,
Yeah.
which Sam Cooke, great singer, phenomenal artist. There are definitely other songs of his I like better, but this is still a good one.
Then we're gonna move on to I'm All Right, which is gotta love the 1960s when they throw a random live song onto an album.
Oh God,
I
this
don't
was
mind that part
terrible.
of it. I just don't like this song. I'll just say that.
Well,
I don't like.
this is definitely the weakest link of the album, and that's all we'll
yeah.
say about that.
And usually you'd think it's because of the screaming girls that it's the weakest part of the album.
No, it's because the whole song is just all right, all right, all
Yeah.
right. I think this song is more of a hype song that the Rolling Stones come out and make the girls scream. It's like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
it's the Rolling Stones! Ah, all right, I'm all right. You know,
When I was
you
listening to
imagine-
this, I saw a comment on YouTube. Someone said, "This is my favorite Rolling Stones song," and then there was like a chain of comments saying, "How?"
have you listened to
Yes.
literally any of their songs?
Well, I mean, maybe that person was just thinking of fond memories. Maybe it was.
Yeah,
Maybe they saw the
Maybe
Rolling
some on
Stones live
tour,
and it
yeah.
reminds them of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's all I'm thinking. Can you imagine? Like, first thing that went into my head with this song for some reason is just Mick just gyrating his hips on
Yes,
stage. trying to
especially
yell.
since the girls are going crazy on this song.
Oh yeah, like that's
yeah.
the only thing I could think of as to why the girls are going crazy, because everyone thought back in the day that he was hot stuff. I don't know why, but they did.
I don't know
And-
why either. He's kind of
I
an
mean-
ugly guy.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a duckling. I'll say this: he's got good clothing style.
Mm.
I'll say that, but I'm sorry, Mick. If by unknown reason Mick Jagger watches this video, we are sorry for calling you ugly.
Hey, you can't always get what
you're
you
the
want.
one who called him ugly.
Anyway, let's get to a good song. Flip the
That's
record over. The first song on the B side is "I Can't Get No Satisfaction," written by Keith Richards in his sleep. Pretty much, he had the guitar riff come to him in a dream. He woke up and made a demo tape. When he woke up the next morning, there it was. So,
I think that's how Kurt Cobain wrote one of his songs before he died. Actually,
what's interesting is this song popularized the use of the Maestro fuzz tone or tonebender. Tonebender, I think was the name of it. Tonebender fuzz pedal.
of course, like this is the one that I think cemented their style. This is where
Yeah.
they found the groove.
They're-
And also, I will say, I don't know about you guys, but every time I hear this song, I always think of Mike Tyson on that lip sync battle show. Because did you guys watch that at all?
I've seen that show, but I haven't seen Mike Tyson on that show.
Oh my gosh, just Google it. It is.
I will.
so
This sounds
funny.
amazing.
His
Okay.
old butt on stage, just trying to get down on it, and oh, it's so funny. He's just jumping up and
This
down.
is obviously the best song on the album. Was their first number one single, and honestly, why the album is so successful because people wanted to hear this song. The guitar riff hooks you in within the first few seconds, and this is kind of more a little teaser of where their direction is heading.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably one of those songs that a lot of people, when they picked up a guitar for the first time, this is the one they started with because
Yeah,
it's such an easy song to play.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he did it in his sleep. Like Garrett said.
Simplicity is the Stones' best friend. It
Mhm.
Yeah.
really is. Every single time that they try to do something complex or cover another song in a different way, it just rubs me the wrong way. But every
Other than
time
you
do something
can't
like,
always get what you want.
yeah,
That song is
but
complex in a good way.
yeah, but like every other song, it's like you just want to tell the Stones use 3 chords and just go. You know, it's like
There,
Yeah.
there are two things that amount to the Stones' success: simplicity and mentally thinking that you're still 28.
Pretty much.
they're about to
And they
say
were-
and
they were
mental
y-
illness. It was
They
like,
were younger than 28 when they made this album. Wait,
No,
what?
if we're gonna go that route, I would just say a crap ton of cocaine.
oh boy.
Keith Richards is just along the side all the time. He's looking at 2 cockroaches. You know, I smoked your uncle once, right?
Wait, we need to get back on track. We
No,
need
this
to-
is fun.
okay.
Anyway, the next song is "Cry to Me," which is the only cover on the B-side. That
This
one's
is a good one.
it's okay.
It was slightly too slow, and it sounded like a band who was trying to like make it big while singing in their garage, thinking they were edgy. You know what I mean?
That's actually a
Like-
really good description of this song.
Yeah, like that's the vibe I got off of this song. It was really. Let's just say I listened to it at 1.5 speed because I
Oh.
just wanted it to be over.
Okay.
Okay, I
That's
don't
really
do that
all I
all the
have.
time.
That's really all I have to say about this song.
I mean,
Yeah.
this one's all right, you know. I mean, I can clearly get like the message of the song. It obviously has to do with relationship and love and stuff like that. And it makes sense that it's a little slower, but it's at least I remember it better than the other ones. And I listened to the freaking thing this morning. So the fact that I can only remember a couple of the tracks is like, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, next we have the Under Assistant West Coast Promotion Man, and I will defend this song.
I
I
liked
listen-
it. And I'll
I
tell
love
you
this
why
song.
I liked it.
It's so
it
fun.
felt like a Bob Dylan song.
Yes, that is exactly what I was thinking when I listened to it. I'm like, this sounds like Bob Dylan.
Mhm.
It's,
Like, I just wanted Mick to just go, at some point.
Yes. I'm the Under Assistant West Coast Promotion Man.
It
Yeah,
also
see,
just sounds like the
tempo-
title of a Bob Dylan song, you know?
It
It's
does.
like it's
You know,
great.
I read all the tracks and immediately I thought in my head, oh, this is gonna be some poetry stuff, isn't it? Right? And I hear
It's,
the and I'm like, this is a Bob Dylan song. What the heck?
yeah.
It's basically throwing shade at the record companies, saying like, "Look how sharp we are. We're the talent behind every rock and roll band."
Pretty much.
This is another one of my favorite songs on this album. Next, we're gonna get to another one of my favorite songs on the album, "Play with Fire."
Oh, I liked this one. This one was very atmospheric. It gave me this was like the gleam in Mick's eye for the beginnings of Sympathy for the Devil
Yeah,
in a way. Like it
Little
really
bit.
yeah, it felt like I don't know, it was really nice. It also, the Stones have this sort of theme which runs through about half of their songs, which is watch out, don't play with me or you'll get messed up, And
yeah, pretty much.
And that this is very much one of them. It's a good one.
I really like the acoustic guitar on this song, and I like the melody on this song, and just the atmosphere of it.
Yeah, the atmosphere is definitely what really brings it up for me. Again, it's not one of the songs that I think is immediately my favorite on the track,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's still all right. Definitely like a precursor to Sympathy for the Devil.
Mm. All right. After that, we've got The Spider and the Fly, which is another original, but it's more blues.
This is the song that, like Jeremy said, I will defend this song.
All right.
Okay.
I will defend it because this one sounds very much like, along with the sort of era with the Doors, sounds like that sort of style.
Yeah.
Similar to like if you take Roadhouse Blues, for example, and crank it down by like a notch or a notch and a half, that's essentially this song in terms of pacing and style.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was okay. It's not like one of my absolute favorites, but it's definitely better than some of the other covers on this album.
Oh yeah, but at least this one for me, it got me interested, unlike
Yeah.
other songs like Mercy Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
Have mercy.
This song was inoffensive. It was, it was a song. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm happy that you liked it, Joseph. I'm happy you liked it.
I
But
think the guitar parts. I'm a sucker for the guitar on
guitar
that.
parts were good in this, but that's not all there is
Keith
to make a
Richards
good
and
song.
Brian Jones are very good guitar players. Okay,
Mhm.
simplistic,
Yeah.
yes, but very good.
I'm also someone who's usually very focused on the vocals as a just a listener to rock and roll. I love the vocals. I listen to the words. Those are the two things which matter most to me.
Well, then
And
you're
so-
definitely
yeah.
gonna like some of these later Stones albums.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That, and also I think you guys have that idea as well, just because you two are sort of like, you're trained with singing. You know, you
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
you know, when we were all in college, you guys have taken classes with many professors with different styles of singing. I'm not. I am not trained. I am a guitar player. And so like sort of groove, I'm a rhythm guitar player anyway, I should say. And so
Mm.
like grooves and rhythm and licks and all that stuff, that is usually what hooks me in.
Mm,
You know, and vocals are important, yes, because I mean, you don't want to have uh early days Mick Jagger on your hands, but you know, rather you would want something, you wish you could have something like a Steven Tyler, for example,
yeah.
but it's the guitar stuff that draws me in.
Mm.
Now, if Steven Tyler were the lead man for this album, I think it might be
Huh.
fantastic. Like,
Oddly
just-
enough, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith covered the song "Walking the Dog," which was also covered by the Rolling Stones on their first album. So there's a
Well,
connection.
because they grew up on stuff like that.
oh yeah, the Stones walked so that Steven Tyler could go. Ah! Anyway,
Pretty
so-
much. They all grew up on the same stuff, Garrett. I mean, on the last episode, you and I were off on a tangent about Little Richard.
Yes, we were.
oh yeah.
Um,
Elvis even said that. Didn't he say that Little Richard, or did he say Fats Domino was the king?
It
of
was
rock?
Little Richard.
It was Little Richard. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
yeah. For me, being a guitar player, I like lead guitar solos that are really good. And the Stones don't have like a lot of guitar solos because they're more of a riff band, and like their riffs are really good.
Mm-hmm.
The
Which
guitar
makes it
parts
great.
on this one were really good.
Which the riff stuff makes it great for someone like me. I will say
Yeah.
that, since I am primarily a rhythm player.
We get our last track 12, One More Try. This one was kind of just
Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, it's a bad song, but I do think that you can hear that they're starting to get their sound here, especially like because that they're going fast. Whenever the Stones go faster in the pace and everything, it matches Mick's energy. And it's
Yeah.
very close to making it, but it doesn't quite make it. But you can see that this song might have been a moment where they're like, oh, maybe we should do more stuff kind of like this. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell that, you know, Mick has always had energy. And that is one of the things that he is like great at, is he's a showman. You
Mhm.
know, it's like when things start to pick up a little bit, when the crowd is energized and Keith is ready to go with some of those riffs, Mick's just up there and he's like, all right, I'm feeling like I'm 35. Let's go. And he's just like moving his hips all throughout the stage. He's dancing for the people, you know, he's getting everyone clapping on stage. He's pulling, well, I guess Ozzy stole it from him, but he's pulling an Ozzy by just, you know, making all the people get involved. You know, he is primarily a showman.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get into our favorite songs and Gulp ranking, let me just say, please continue with the Rolling Stones. I'd like to, not every week because obviously there's a lot more artists we want to get into, but I want to keep continuing through their discography, at least up to Sticky Fingers.
Yeah.
There's one more album, December's Children, which is kind of like this, but then once you hit Aftermath after that, everything changes.
Here's the
So-
thing, Garrett. We know that. We know. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
we're ripping him to shreds right now, because we're going to be singing their praises like a little bit later.
Two albums ahead, just two albums ahead, and everything's gonna change.
Yeah.
For you guys.
You have to walk through the crap before you get to the gold.
And here's the thing: I knew that, and I didn't want you to walk through the deep crap because their first 3 albums are basically all blues stuff that's extremely forgettable.
Ah,
Which,
thank you.
yeah, the fact that it's forgettable, I think, is why I'm not into it so much.
Anyway, my favorite songs on this album are, of course, Satisfaction, Under Assistant West Coast Promotion Man, The Last Time, and Play with Fire.
Okay.
Mhm.
My favorite songs are I Can't Get No Satisfaction, the Under Assistant song, and yeah.
Okay. What about Play with Fire?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
All right.
So I think we all can agree unanimously. I Can't Get No Satisfaction is the best song on
Yeah.
the album. I think just about anyone,
Unanimously agree.
yeah, anyone who listens to this, if you take a survey of 1 million people, I'm sure that close to 100% of them are going to say the best song on the album is I Can't Get No Satisfaction. So let's just not even go there. I'm just going to say ditto. And underneath those, I would say are going to be West Coast Promotion Man. I'm kind of looking at them right here. Hold on. West Coast Promotion Man, Hitchhike, Spider and the Fly, and Good Times.
All right. I am going to be very strong and I'm going to rank it first so that you guys can't change my opinion. 7 out of 10. That ranking does not change. I like it. It's good, but it's not great.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
I gotta go lower than you, Garrett.
That's
I gotta
okay.
give it like a 6.
That's
You
all
know,
right.
like
Oh
I said,
God.
just kinda
Jeremy gave the
cool.
Who's debut album a 4 out of 10. And I gave
I
it like a
haven't
6.
Oh no. I feel like Simon Cowell here because I gotta say 3. It was not good, guys. Like for me.
Well, for me, here's the way I see it. It's like I said, there's no songs on here that I hate. Like, if there are any
Sure.
songs on any album that I'm like, I hate this song, then it'll get into like 5 territory.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, like
Okay.
anywhere, like depending on how many songs are like this sucks, it'll get into like 4 or 5 territory. Usually, like a 6 for me would be like most of it's just forgettable. I'm not gonna think
Mhm.
about it, but it's not bad. 7 is good for me, and then anywhere from 8 and above is great.
Yeah.
That's how I usually do my rankings.
The lowest album I ranked was Beck, and I ranked it at 4 out of 10.
Back.
It I don't know if you'd like it.
I was gonna say, you talking like the band Beck or like Jeff Beck, or what are you talking about?
The band back. You know.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, if you gave Jeff Beck that
No.
low,
Yeah, no, if you
No.
gave Jeff Beck that, you'd be burned at the stake.
you would. Yeah, I was
No.
gonna say, I would drive to your house and
We
I
talked about how I'm a guitar player and I like guitar. Why would I rank that a 4 out of 10?
would, especially since he passed away not long ago. We can say,
Rest in peace.
rest in
2
peace,
out of
Jeff
10.
Beck.
Rest in peace. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. Usually
Anyway,
Usually I reserve like if I hate something, I'll give it a 1 or a 0. Like that's my thing. Like 3 means that I do think there's some merit in it. 5 means I think that it is an album that I might put on every once in a while, and then going from up. So like my standards for my top or for my 10 out of 10 ranking are really high. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
Hmm.
fair. Everyone's got their own way of ranking.
I've
Yeah.
never ranked anything a 10 out of 10 so far.
Well, I
haven't
know the
either.
only thing you would rank a 10 out of 10. Shall I spoil it? No, I won't do that. for you.
I think everybody knows what it is though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And then, wait, did you already do it? Is the question.
No,
No.
we haven't.
Okay.
we have made a rule that we're saving Beatles for way down the line since we're already so familiar with them. But Beatles
Dang
solo
it,
albums.
now the audience knows it's the Beatles, Garrett.
But they don't know which one.
Darn.
It's obviously
very
Beatles
clearly
for
Beatles
sale.
for sale.
Oh,
Oh,
I was gonna. Never mind. That's a different album than what I thought.
no, that was a joke.
That
Beatles
was
for
a
sale is
joke
one of
that
their
we
worst
both made at
albums.
the exact same time. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Oh, well, I thought the fact that you both said it together, that was the real thing. I was gonna be like, it's not a certain one from later on in their career, which we all know Garrett loves and adores.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
Oh,
solo
goodness.
Beatle albums are not off the table for right now, though. So, speaking
No.
of which, we're thinking about doing a Paul McCartney album pretty soon. So, we just, I think we're gonna let Joseph pick a Paul McCartney album either next week or like one of our next 2 reviews is gonna be Paul McCartney. Put it that way.
Oh
yeah, buddy.
All
I
right.
love Paul. Paul's my favorite Beatle.
Me
Great.
too.
Yeah. Best Beatle. You know, I'm sorry to my buddy Bobby if you ever find this. I know you're a Lennon fan. I'm sorry, McCartney is the best Beatle. You know, one of the greatest, if not the best, songwriter of all time.
Yeah.
Yes. He can just pull something out of his brain or out of a dream or anything. Literally, John Lennon spent like 5 years writing Strawberry Fields. And then the next week, Paul comes in, oh, yeah, your Strawberry Fields song made me think of this. And then he comes up with Penny Lane. And you're like, you got to feel bad for John.
Yeah.
John's
Anyway.
probably just looking every time McCartney pulls out a song and like Paul's just jamming on the piano like that. And then John's just like, well, damn.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, we know, yeah, anyway.
thank you guys for watching today. We will see you next time. And we will see you in the future whenever we review a better Rolling Stones album. So thank you guys for tuning in for our first review of the Stones. I was going to say maybe someday if we want to torture ourselves, we'll review their first 3 albums. But I think that we all can unanimously agree that those are off the table.
We should all get a
Actually,
little
fine.
bit messed up and then listen to those Stones albums together. And then like make a video of us all kind of inebriated and just talking about how terrible they are
If we do that, we should try and do that,
in person.
in person.
Oh yeah.
That way we're all in the same room, and I feel like it would work. So
I know,
well.
I
Oh,
know the
yes.
Stones album that we would need to listen to. It was one that I was planning to
Oh.
skip. That's after this. It's their 1967 album, which is basically their answer to Sgt. Pepper's, and it's terrible.
Let's make that a subscriber goal. Like when we get to a certain amount of
There we go.
subscribers,
Then we can do.
We'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If we get, how many subscribers are we at right now?
we're at 123.
Okay.
300.
We hit, yeah, I was gonna say if we can hit 300 subscribers, we will all get a little tipsy and review that Rolling Stones album, and I will bring the drinks.
Okay.
Yee!
I will just
Okay.
say it's a really weird album. Just don't listen to it because I'm going to save you guys reactions for that particular video.
Yeah, we'll do it live. We'll be like Bill O'Reilly. Screw it, we'll do it live.
Ah.
Anyway,
Okay.
thank you guys for watching this video. We'll see you next time.
Bye.